welcome to the channel. I'm very excited to share with you my latest purchase, my favorite Rolex, the 116900, otherwise known as the Air-King. Now this was announced at Basel 2019 and was met with a lot of flack. People, including myself initially, just thought it was a hodgepodge design, a dang dog ugly watch that was designed from spare parts that Rolex had lying around their factory in Switzerland. And it wasn't until I saw this in person some months later at my authorized dealer that my views began to change, because you know what? This is an awesome watch, and there is a reason why this is my favorite all-time Rolex to date. Now let's start with this controversial dial. I love the pop of color that Rolex placed here, their corporate green on their branding and the running seconds hand. This is something that I've never seen them do, and they might not ever do again. I love the fact that the Rolex font is a little bit thicker and bolder than what I would find on my, my white printed GMT Master 2. I also love how it plays with the yellow coronet just above that green printing. It really draws your eye. It's interesting. You know, at first I was a little shocked, but after I got over the initial shock, this is just my favorite part of the dial. Now we have white gold applied markers at the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions. To me, they look exactly the same as the outgoing generation of the Explorer, the 39mm Explorer, that had the small handset. And I like the fact that these are solid white gold. You know, they're not loomed. It sets it apart a little bit from the Explorer, and that's something that I appreciate. I also like the fact that they kept the same font for Air-King. You know, the original font when the model debuted in the 1950s. So there is surprisingly a long amount of history with the watch, and with this one being a modern release, they really supersized it. You know, it's much different from the 34mm versions of the past. This shares the same case as the Milgauss. So it's got some height, it's got some weight, it's wider and taller than the Explorer, but still is very comfortable. It's not cumbersome, it's not top heavy, there's nothing that would cause me, to feel any discomfort on wrist, but it has that little bit more weight and presence that I personally identify with. Not to mention that this is $2,000 cheaper than a Milgauss, and I think, guys, you may disagree with me, but I think it's a better design. At least I enjoy it more. So it has that value. It has the same Faraday cage that shields the 3131 movement from magnetic flux, so it's going to have that same 80,000 amperes per meter anti-magnetic capacity that makes it just a very good watch to wear on an everyday basis. So let me show you how it wears on wrists. My wrists are 7.25 inches in circumference, and I really like the all brush finish of the bracelet. It does hide wear a little bit easier than if this had polished center links like my GMT Master 2 does. And again, guys, take a look at that green and yellow on the dial. That's a lot of fun. I really like this, especially in natural light. So it's versatile, it's original, it's quirky, and it's not for everybody. There's something about when people kind of poo-poo a watch or a design. I don't know if there's just something wrong with me personally, but I kind of like it more. I like the design more. I like the fact that not everybody enjoys it and boosts my ego with compliments. I kind of like explaining myself a little bit about why I enjoy the Air-King so much. So it has, I don't know if you want to call it a rebel factor to it, but just an underappreciated factor, I think would be a more appropriate word. Now, if Rolex has a relatively short production run on this, say 5 or less years, this thing is really primed for a boost in not only appreciation, but just desirability. Once something is not available new, everybody seems to want it. So I think there will be a day when people are wishing that they could buy this at retail price. They're remembering the days when they walked into the authorized dealer and they saw 2 in the case. There'll be a day when this trades for quite a bit higher than that, and I'm really glad I have one. So I love everything about the watch. It's an awesome release. It carries that quirky originality, it carries the value, it carries the presence, and there's really not a lot of negative things I could say about the watch. Very happy to have one in my own collection, and that's why this is the best kept sports secret. This is why this is my favorite sports design from Rolex. So again, guys, thanks for taking the time to watch. Reach out with any questions you may have. I'll see you in the next video.